Hi everybody, welcome back to the Octave Music Center. Today we're looking at the SGI Avenir 20AC EWFF, which stands for the Avenir 20 series in an auditorium shape with a cutaway, with Engelmann spruce and wenge, and fanned frets. Now before I talk about the specs of this guitar and what makes it unique, I want to talk a little bit about fanned frets. Fan frets are a fairly new school form of construction. I think they originated in the 90s, but I might be mistaken. They could be earlier, they could be later. First time I ever saw a photo of fan frets is actually on John Mayer's album artwork for Room for Squares. He's sitting next to what looks like a custom-made Strat style electric with fan frets. The first time I ever saw one in real life was maybe about 8 or 9 years ago when I got to play a Dingwall bass at a music store, and it threw me for a loop. I had no idea what to expect. I had no idea how to react. But fast forward however many years later, now I'm talking about a guitar with them. I've played these guitars extensively. I've learned how to adapt to the fan frets, and it's not as hard as you think. The first thing you got to do is clear your mind. The more you think about how the frets are different, the more you're going to make mistakes. If you focus more on what you're playing and your frets on the edge here where you have your inlays and not so much focused on the fingerboard and how they're slanted, you'll have just a fine time playing fan frets. There are a few advantages to having fanned frets, one of them being the more accurate intonation and tension. Whereas a traditional guitar will have a singular scale length from saddle to nut, and sometimes the lows are too heavy for it, sometimes the highs are too light for it. So what you have here is a different scale length for each string, which gives you balanced tension as well as a more accurate intonation. So you get a more in-tune guitar as well as a more comfortable playing experience when it comes to pushing the strings down to the frets or strumming or fingerstyle or whatever have you. You get a nice balanced feel. Enough about fan frets. Let's talk about the specs of this guitar and then get into the demo. So the top is a solid Engelmann spruce with solid wenge back and sides. The binding is black American walnut with this beautiful beveled edge. The purfling is a beautiful 1mm flame maple, and the rosette is millimeter flame maple, black walnut, millimeter flame maple, so purely wood, so there's no plastics that are hindering the body's vibration. The build is with Japanese hide glue, so really high-end guitar construction adhesive. The bridge is beautiful offset ebony. It's offset to factor in for the multi-scale length of the fan frets. It has a polished, fully compensated bone nut with matching ebony bridge pins. So we get that nice uniformity that I like to talk about where our strings are anchored into our bridge. The next thing I'd like to talk about on the body is a beautiful sound port that is put right here on the upper bout. Now this is in the perfect placement for you to get the full blast of your guitar's tone. So guitars sound differently when you're hearing them being played compared to when you're playing them. The sound comes out of this hole and projects this way. So a guitar will always sound nicer if someone's playing it for you. This is a guitar with that in mind. This sound port up here gives you that full body tone that normally you could only hear if the guitar is pointing at you. But now, as the player, you get to experience and enjoy that guitar tone while you play. It is truly a player's instrument, and the sound port is the icing on the cake for the external part of the body, the top, the sides, the back. On the inside of the body, just like its cousin, the Avenir Vintage 00, we have reverse curving. So if I can get there, you can see it right there. So reverse curving, I've talked about it a lot. I'll be quick and brief about it this time. Basically, the rib cage of your guitar is the kerfing, and normally you see the ridges or the ribs of the kerfing as it's glued around the sides. When it's reversed, it's each individual ridge or rib are glued to the sides, which add extra strength, extra stability, and extra rigidity, which also helps with projection and clarity, so you don't have as much perpendicular acoustic interference when it comes to your top and back having their acoustic resonance. So less perpendicular interference. It is a beautiful construction method that makes every guitar sound better, sound bigger, and sustain longer. Onto the neck. We have a beautiful ebony fingerboard with a 45mm polished bone nut. The neck itself is a beautiful Kaya mahogany with a stain that helps match to the body very nicely. A modern kind of heel style veloute or volute. Beautiful black chrome small button Grover tuners. The neck is reinforced with carbon fiber reinforcement rods, and the truss rod is a two-way action that you access from the heel in the sound hole. So without further ado, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. Let's play some guitar. And there you have it. The SGI Avenir 20 ACE EWFF. The modern boutique fingerstyle guitar that is for sale now here at the Octave. If you like what you saw, please hit like. If you want to see more, please hit subscribe. It really helps us out. I've been Greg from the Octave Music Center. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.